sunshine effect.
And it is another evening filled with nothing but sunshine. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You stepped into Sunshine Effect. And of course, you know this is where we do all of our transformations. This is where we talk about the things that needs to be talked about. And of course, the hardest season might be that transformation season is where we're going tonight. So make sure you share the link, tell everybody, come on, let's get into this conversation because I believe that it's one that needs to be had. I'm a strong believer that the more we talk about things, the better solutions we come up. You're going to hear me say that a lot. So tonight, make sure you share, get involved, and let's not be afraid to talk about the things that needs to be talked about. And tonight, I've got a young lady that's going to be stepping in with me. When we talk about the hardest seasons that we go through may be those transformation seasons, I can say for her that she popped right back up and she's ready to do her thing. And I mean, look, she had to go through that healing process. She had to go through that growth process. And of course, becoming again. You get that? She's doing that all over again. And tonight we're going to be talking about transformation and making up your mind when it's something that you should be doing. I know when I call this name, you're going to be so much. She's done a lot. I have watched her. She's yet doing things. And I'm talking about Miss Gay Valimont. She's with us tonight, and my. Gay is going to be talking about some things that she has decided to do that I knew she was going to do it all over again. I just knew it because she couldn't stay away from it. But that's the way it should be. And I want to welcome her in with me tonight so we can talk about some things that she has decided to do. Hi, Gay. How are you? Well, maybe if I unmute myself, I can hear you if I unmute you. Okay. She has decided to do. Hi, Gay. How are you? I am. Look, listen. I think I'm overriding myself, right? Yes, I am. But look, Gay, we're getting this right. But look, you're looking so pretty tonight, and thank you for coming in with me so that we can talk about this transformative season that you've been through, and the fact that you are stepping back into that limelight again. Wow! Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sunshine. I couldn't be happier. It took me a while to get past the loss,
Right.
but I did some great things with after the loss. I
Exactly.
put the money back in and I invested in this panhandle. And after a long process, I've decided that the best thing I can do, because things haven't changed,
No, they haven't.
the best thing I can do is run for office.
There you go. And you know, well, it's like this. I think that let me say, I think I need to put these on, right? It might be easier. Okay, now I think I can hear you better, Gay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great.
And but what we're going to talk about tonight, Gay, are things that cause you to do just what you're doing, and that is to make that decision to start all over because you know that things have not changed. There was a personal transformation that you had to go through after that first election, and now that you have come through with that, I mean, what is it that really settled in that you got from that you wanted to step back into this political arena?
I know that I have a lot to offer. You know, after the last election, I felt defeated, but also this community lifted me up. This community got behind me. And honestly, I couldn't go anywhere in the community without somebody going, "You started something. You started something. We really need your voice. You gave us hope." And so, what I wanted to do was lift up every other candidate on this panhandle, and I have done that. I had a training this past weekend with my old
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah.
We trained all candidates that are running for office, and I'm really proud of that. But what I ultimately decided was that the best thing for me to do was to be on the ballot and win this seat for the people of Florida's first congressional district because we need representation.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have to say that you fought a fight, and as a matter of fact, you were a part of history with your last election. You were truly a part of history. You, with the fight that you brought forth and how you stayed out there, Florida was blue for the first time in what, 19 years?
Yep,
I mean, but
19
but
years.
19 years. Now, what does that say? That's a testament right there that you were a part of, all that hard work that you did caused that to happen. Doesn't that give you you become like the Energizer Bunny? You're ready to keep going and going and going.
Well, I want to be able to have the job. Like, I want the job. People have reached out to me over and over again after the election and said, please help me with this.
Right.
Without the job, it's very difficult to solve the problems that the people have of this district. People
Uh
have reached out to the guy that won, to Jimmy Petronas, and they have not gotten answers. They have not gotten the things that they need. And so for me to be able to fully help the people of this district, I need the job. And so I'm
huh.
gonna go get the job.
Exactly, I agree with you. Now, let me ask you something else. Now, the importance of the mentorship that you have, the support with the growth that you have here in the community, and I see that
Mhm.
by even with the meeting that you had this weekend. I couldn't attend, but I knew that it was going on, and what you're doing for all of those candidates that are out there because of the fact that you have already been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Don't you see what you're also instilling in them?
Well, yeah. I mean, what I wanted to give to the candidates that are running is just the knowledge and the things that I didn't have. People, for somebody to step up and run for office, it's a difficult decision. It's a hard decision because you have to put your life on hold. You do a lot of things. You rearrange your life. Um, and you have to learn a lot of things as you go. What I wanted
Right.
to give these candidates is the knowledge to know so they could just be candidates. So they would know how to file for office. So they would know how to raise money. So they know how to talk to the media. And they don't have to learn as they go. They can just be candidates and earn votes and talk to the people. Because honestly, Sunshine, that's what it's about. And I cannot wait to get back out and talk to the people.
I mean, oh my God, I can remember. Oh my God, you never stop going. But when it's something as important when it's something as important as this, that's what it takes. And when you see that the necessary change, what do you see mostly, Gay, that we need to change here?
Well, I mean, problems remain the same. We have an affordability problem. We can't pay our property taxes, our homeowners insurance. We can't afford rent. And as we go into indiscriminate wars, now we can't afford
Oh,
gas and electricity, and the decisions that are being made at the federal level are
uh-huh.
going unchecked. And we need somebody that is willing to stand up to this administration when it's not right. And
I
and
agree.
and we need somebody that's going to speak for the people of this district. I'm an American, right? I am an American that loves Northwest Florida and the
Okay.
people that are here. And
Right.
I want to make sure that they have a voice in Congress. And right now, we do not have a voice in Congress. Congress has been completely obliterated. They have no voice when it comes to making decisions. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And we need to get back to basics. We need representation. And I'm going to represent us all.
Absolutely. Now, you said something there I want to roll back to. You said now, like with the wars and the gas prices, you think all of that's going to affect us really soon? With the gas prices,
Oh,
when
yeah.
we woke up overnight the other night, we're back into another turmoil again. It's going to affect us that
Well,
quickly?
exactly. Well, the administration, the Trump administration has, prices have not gone down. Our grocery prices have not gone down, and they keep touting how gas prices are so low. Well, now we've gone to war in the Middle East.
Oh, ugh.
Gas prices are doing nothing but going up. And so the one caveat that we had, the one thing that we had working for us is now gone. Um,
Wow.
we have to have people that are going to speak up for us.
Right.
Gas is
Right.
one thing, but also your electricity is going up. Everything is going up. Nothing's going down. And it's time that somebody check and stand up. Stand up for people.
Right. I agree. I agree. I agree. And I love the fact with your energy, how you are so passionate about what you're doing because it's the love of people that you're doing. When it comes to things like this and with the community where it is, how is it that, some people will think, oh, it's not going to matter if I don't do this. This is not going to matter if I don't do that. We've got to yet get them over that. Do you feel like some of those things that you got to go back and redo that all over again to get that positivity back in them?
Yeah. Well, I think that what I gave people in the first I say the first election, it was 22 months straight because I ran in 2 different elections because, Matt resigned and then I went into the special election, but it was 22 months straight.
Right.
It was 2 elections. It was a rough haul, but
Right.
what I learned in all of that were the stories of the people and the things that are going up. And the things that have changed since then are healthcare is obliterated.
Yes,
My
it
health care,
is.
my personal health care went from $250 a month to $1,000 a month, which is
Ooh,
unsustainable for any single woman trying to live. So
absolutely.
what I what I want people to understand is that I'm living the same life you're living. I am living in the same place you're living, and my prices aren't getting lower either. So I
Exactly.
speak for us. I speak for the working people, and I speak for the veterans here who have lost their health care, who the people in our community who can't get a doctor's appointment because everything from the VA has been farmed out to our civilian doctors, to all the people who lost their jobs and all the federal cuts on this panhandle. We're struggling, and we need somebody that's going to stand up for us.
I'm with you 100% because when you say that, even now, with the jobs and how many people lost jobs, and I think it was something that I got today that was somewhere near here that a bunch of jobs was lost today. And I got to go back and find that email. But however, with the economy how it is, and with us trying to, I want my people to understand something. Change is necessary, and we got to stay on that to make sure we get the change so that we can have somebody that's going to go there and stand up for us so that we can have what we need to survive. Because myself, when you go to the grocery store, you come out with one bag and you spent 25 or $30 and you got 2 pieces in the bag. I mean, come on. It's unbelievable. But I encourage people. Now, we've got Gay with us tonight. Now, she's going to be running, and I want you to reach out and talk to her. Here's an opportunity to get back on board with her because I think that she did a phenomenal job because of the fact of how she worked so hard. And she was out there. I couldn't have done it myself. I couldn't do it, Gay. I couldn't do
Look
it.
at that.
I can't do it.
I'm
Woo.
depending on you to help me, sunshine.
Ooh, girl. I mean, she keeps it going and going and going. But when it comes down to things like this, that's in that there's so many things that's happening now that it's like, and I want to be transparent when I say this. There's so many things, even that we feel when it happens, so many things that are happening, and I'm going to say some of the things that that make me feel out of place is that it's like that it's supposed to be a privilege somewhere else, but I'm supposed to deal with the remnants of that privilege. Did you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And and,
I
and
do.
we and that's not the way I should feel being what I do, who I am, or anybody else. So how can we not get over that? And you know what else makes me, and I can say this now, I see so many other younger people that's stepping up to run for office. I've
Mhm.
seen several new faces that I were not acquainted with that I've been checking out that they are running for
Yep.
office. I think that's the new blood that's stepping out there to see that is something that needs to change. And with you there, taking the opportunities to do what you're doing and asking the question that need to be asked, giving them the knowledge that they need because you've gone down this road before. I believe that if we all come together, and I've said this before, when we put all of our resources together, there's nothing we can't do. And that's what it's going to take. We got you right back, you know? I
Yeah.
really believe
We
that.
got to build a bench. We have to build our bench. We have to make sure that there are people right behind me and right behind everybody else that people We have to encourage people that love our community, that love this district, that love living in this place and love the people, love their neighbors, that they
Right.
stand up to represent it. And we have to demand, we have to make sure that everybody takes part in it because, Sunshine, the
Uh-huh.
people, the people are what controls our government,
Mm-hmm.
not our politicians. But if the people don't take part in
Mm-hmm.
our democratic process, if
Mm-hmm.
they don't go vote, if they don't call their neighbors and tell them to vote for me, if they don't show up the day of that weird
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday in November to
Mm-hmm.
tell people they're done and they need a voice in Congress,
Mm-hmm.
then all this is for nothing. Everybody has to take part. And for
Exactly.
people to say that politics, I don't want to get involved in politics, uh, politics are going to get into you. So if you don't get into it and make a decision and stand up for what's right,
Mm-hmm.
then
It's going to get you.
that's where
But
we
you
are.
know what? I was talking with this earlier today to a person, that even with our community, and I'm talking about my community right now, Gay, is the fact that sometimes we fear things that we don't want to have to, with the things that have happened before. So we got to really come together so that we won't repeat history because so many
Yeah.
things now is that's what they're trying to do is to go back to what it was when my mother and father was young people. And we have got to
Well,
stand up.
right.
Exactly. So we've got to be able to stand up to take that right on, even though there's a fear there, even though they're saying, okay, what may happen to me or what you could try to do to me. But I strongly believe when you knit all of us together, there's nothing that we can't do. But we've got to learn to hold on to so we can continue to climb and take the person who's going to work the job and do it fair. Because it is just as fair for me to have it as anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely. And I'm going to say what you're not going to say. I'm going to
say
say
it.
what you're not saying.
Okay.
The policies that are coming out of the White House are blatantly racist. The policies that are coming out on the Voting Rights Act
Yep.
or the SAVE Act
Uh-huh.
are blatantly racist. What is
Exactly.
happening is they're trying to make you rely on a passport. The
Right.
majority of Americans do not own a passport because they
No.
don't travel internationally.
Exactly.
So they want everybody to show a passport or to show a birth certificate. Do you know how to get your birth
Oh
certificate?
my God. It took me forever to get a birth certificate years ago. I had to go all the way back to Alabama to get the birth certificate because I didn't know how to send for it.
Yeah.
But it took me a
And how are
while
you going
then.
to do that in 9 months?
Oh,
You can't do
hell.
that in 9 months.
But Gay, with you, I just want to see where you feel about this. Why is it that you think it is pointed, is trying to take away everything that was fought and died for us 50, 60 years ago? And now you're trying to take it away. I was listening to this clip that was on social media earlier on IG talking about the fact that why this person was taken away Juneteenth. And he blatantly said he didn't think it was important. It's not important to you, but it's important to me. So why is it that it's being taken away when it's something that's so important to me? It's what I don't understand. Where that capacity come from? Is it because that I want to be a dictator? Or is it because you want to be that I have so much, what power do I have that I can harm you? I always think like this as well. I believe if you're coming, you're challenging everything that we've done. What is it that power that we have that you're trying to take away? I don't get that. I don't get that. And I wish somebody could help me.
I mean, my reasoning is that this administration has Stephen Miller. It's a long story, but there's lots of stuff in the background that are working that are the policies are blatantly racist. They do not want because typically black people are associated with the Democratic Party. So if they can stop you from voting, then they think they've won. What we need, what we need is for everybody to understand their part in this because John Lewis was my representative when I lived in Atlanta. I
Wow.
worked for him on 2 of his campaigns. The dedication that you hear in me, the dedication you the fact that I am so passionate about this comes from hearing this man who walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and and was assaulted for the right to vote. And we cannot let that man's work go in vain. If
I
we
agree.
don't have our vote, we have nothing.
I agree.
And that is the one thing, and it's hard for people to put those threads together. That, like, if you show up in November and you vote for somebody that you care about, government will work for you. People don't put those threads together. But collectively, when we all stand up and vote for what's right and put our stamp on what we want our government to be, then we win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. You know, with things how they are, how do we balance protecting free speech from protecting students who, you know where I'm going, especially the black students, from harmful and demeaning messages? How can we make sure that we balance that to protect? Because you've heard this thing here lately. It's been focused on about free speech this, free speech this, and all that. Okay, somebody's asking me what I'm gonna turn my head in a minute. Is somebody over there asking something? Okay, let's see what it says. It says we're eating. No, it said we're eating dinner. Wait a minute. Somebody said they're eating dinner watching us. Okay, but there's a question. Can Gabe discuss some of the things that President Trump mentioned during his state address?
Absolutely. Um, the State of the Union was the longest State of the Union ever, and before that, he had the longest State of the Union. He whines on and whines on. Um, the things I think that were important that he talked about in the State of the Union um, were the things that he didn't talk about in the State of the Union.
Okay.
Um, in the State of the Union, he did not mention the Epstein files. He did not
Right.
mention the Epstein survivors that were sitting in the audience. He he did not mention the 2 people that were murdered in Minnesota by
Right.
ICE agents.
Exactly.
Um, he also didn't mention that 48 hours later, he was going to wage a war in the Middle East.
You're right.
I think, I think, and I will answer any poignant questions that you want me to ask. But I think that the part about the State of the Union were the things that he did not talk about, were the
Okay.
things that he did not address.
Right. And but do you think that America is so blinded they can't see that? Or is it?
No, no, I absolutely do not think that America is blind. I do not think that people think that Trump stood up there and said the economy's getting better. All you have to do is check your bank account to know that the economy is not getting better.
You
All
got
you
that
have to
right.
do is check your bill for your health care every month, because it's not just people that are on the marketplace that health care went up. All these people dropped out of the marketplace because they no longer have subsidies. So when all those people drop out of the Obamacare, that makes everybody's health insurance go up. The more people that participate, the lower our health care is. That's the whole point of Obamacare. So
Exactly.
for anybody to say that their health insurance has gone down or that it has stayed the same, it's simply not true. There's not one bill in our pocket that has gone down.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree
And
with you.
there are 70 businesses on this panhandle who are suffering from the tariffs. 70 businesses who are suing the Trump administration to get their money back. They're killing
Yeah.
small businesses.
Exactly. Well, let me ask you something else. How do you think that? How can we handle this? I'm asking this because I know you're going to be out there in those streets and you're going to be fronted with a lot of this. Do you
Yeah.
think America has forgotten or even ignored the promises of justice that came after George Floyd because of that murder? So many things that happened then. Have they forgotten that? And that was just a few years ago. How can we not see that when I think of George Floyd, all I can see is a knee and what that did to America. But do you think, though, that America has forgotten that? Are they just ignoring that because it's not important to them? What do you think?
Don't think so. This is what I think has happened. We are flooded with so much news and breaking news every day that police brutality has turned into ICE brutality. You know,
Okay.
what we have seen with the abduction of brown people being thrown into vans, and this includes American citizens, black people are looking and going, that's been happening to us for years.
Yes, sir. Glad you
I
said
mean,
it.
it hasn't changed. It's no
Nope.
different. Um, but it's something that we all have to continue to fight. We can't get complacent.
Exactly.
Um,
Especially now.
especially now, and we can't turn a blind eye because it's somebody that looks different from us. What
Exactly.
I am screaming from the rooftops is that we the people are Americans. we
Yes.
we the people deserve our rights. We the people deserve our voice. We the people have a right to assemble. We the people have a right to freedom of speech. We can
Right.
say whatever we want to. And what concerns me about the Trump administration is he has taken over, the courts. He has taken over the Fed that controls our money. He has taken over. Um, he's waging war without asking Congress, and that is illegal and unconstitutional. Now, what do we
Unbelievable.
do about it? Who's
Right.
holding him to account?
Right.
Nobody's holding him to account because we don't have people in Congress that will hold him to account. And that is why I am running.
Okay. Do you think that's why people there's no accountability there? It's just okay. He does it. He gets away with it. He does it and keep going. Is it that the people that are there, but you can hear them, you'll say something over here, but when it's in front of him, you won't stand up and fight for it? What is that? Are you afraid? Are you afraid what he's going to do? I'm talking about some of the people
Yeah.
that work with him. You think that's what it is? But you know
I
what?
mean,
This is. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, he's the president of embarrassing people. He's the president of making you look like a fool, and nobody wants to have the ire of Donald Trump on social media. And it's crazy that that is what our government has come to. I want to bring morality back to our government. Our
Right.
government only works if people buy into it.
Right. I agree. I agree. When you know how I am when it comes to our younger generation for the children. What advice do you have for activists who are wrestling with the anger, the grief, confusion?
Yeah.
When we see the things like the murders that have already happened, and but then there are other people get the microphone, it's a totally different story. And you know exactly what I'm saying. But it's like, how can we get that back, build that back up in us? And I want us to be able to talk about it because I believe with everything that flows through me, the more we talk about anything, that's how we can get conclusion. We can come up with better answers than just one person because it's not an I, it's a us. If we get out there and work together to do this, then we can do that. And I want the community to be a part of that as well so that you can speak. Here's a chance right here tonight where you can be a part. The link is on my page. You can click in on the link and be a part of this conversation. Ask Gay some questions to see what she's going to do with help these things because you see what's happening every day. And you can empower each other. I strongly believe that we can empower each other. That's why I said that we started this off tonight. It was like a transformative transformation that we're all going through because we're going to have to get that to get to where we're going. It's going to take that for the entire community to be behind the positivity that's there for people such as Gay, who's coming on to talk about why she's running. But I'm talking about the community now. Do you not feel that? What do you feel that you can do to be a part to help? Who are you waiting on?
Yeah.
Who are you waiting for
Well,
to
you
do
asked
it?
me.
Huh?
Yeah, you asked me about the youth, about the young folks and what they can do. You know, I am speaking at in a couple weeks. I'm speaking at the No Kings rally, which is on the 28th. There's a No
Right.
Kings rally in Escambia County. There's a No Kings rally in Okaloosa. That night, I'm speaking at the young college Dems. We have to get people involved. We have to get, I'm going to Tallahassee to do that. We have to get people involved in the democratic process. The
Right.
news cycle again is so much. There's something new every day that it can get overwhelming that you can go, I don't want to be a part of that. I can't, I can only take on one thing. What I'm telling people is pick your thing. Find your thing, that
Exactly.
one thing that matters to you and dig in. And if you can't find that one thing, find that one candidate that you believe in and work for them and make calls and knock on doors and tell people they have to vote. Register people to vote
Right.
because it all matters. Every bit of it matters. And stay engaged. Everybody's got to stay engaged. Don't give up.
I agree with
It's
you there.
too
And
easy to give up.
I want to mimic what you just said. Now, everybody, please, that's one thing that you have. You got to exercise your right to vote. That's where you get your power. You go out there and you speak. That's where you get change. When you go out there and cast your vote, don't think that your one vote that won't count. I've seen an election where they won by 2 or 3 votes, and that one vote could be you. How do you how can you not take that from yourself? You got to have it for yourself, because with all of this that's happening, when I think about the younger people that's out there now that's growing up, how can we protect our children growing up in a world where they see people murdered on video and that they're saying it's okay? Then they hear voices that downplay the reality of why it happened. How is it that we can protect our kids, our young, from that? Because you'll see younger people, that is something that's taught. You're not born that way. That is a learned personality. If we don't protect our children, because they are our tomorrow, we're not going to be here forever. So how are we going to keep them to have that strength to continue to fight? I see where so many young people are out there doing things, but we need to rally behind them to make sure that they stay on path, to stay focused so that they can. Because if you're living in this world today, you see what's happening just as well as I. And as a community, we've got to do something to make a change. That's the responsibility of, I think, the leaders that's already out there. I think that's their responsibility for ourselves to come to stop encountering all this dangerous stuff. Because with me, I don't know about anybody else, I don't go too many places at night because I'm by myself. And you hear so many things of people when you can't find this person. And I travel alone a lot. And we shouldn't have to be
Sunshine.
shouldn't have to be that way. We shouldn't have to be that way. And you know what? And what gets me is so many people, even just like Sean can even attest to this. So many people come, oh, we saw it, but you won't talk. Say something. It's not. It takes your voice. Your voice matter. Everybody's voice matters, and I don't know why we are afraid to speak truth. I don't get that.
Well, if we had not had, I mean, if we had not had, people had not had their cell phones out and taken video
Oh
of
God,
everything that had
yeah,
happened in Minneapolis,
yeah.
we would not have an accurate portrayal of what happened there. And people don't have to, you don't have to guess what happened. You can watch the video and know exactly what happened. And that's true of every press conference they have, every time they talk about war, every time they bomb a boat from Venezuela, every time. You can trust your own instincts to know that this administration is not working within its bounds and it needs Congress as an co-equal branch of government to keep it
Exactly.
in check.
Exactly. And the things that we see now, I think that are so behooving, and the fact that it's like, okay, I'm showing you, I'm not afraid to let you see what's going on. And they keep going and going and going, and nothing stops it. That bothers me. But you see, these are times like this, I feel like that we cannot be afraid. I think back, and I often get to people to realize if they didn't realize what was going on back when the civil rights activists was fighting, that they got to pick up that same trait to start that again, and don't be afraid. They're afraid to get hit, though. When you think about how people came across the bridge, they're afraid to get hit.
Put your neck out. I mean, it's hard to put your neck out when you're fighting for something,
Exactly.
and I get that. I know exactly what that feels like. I know it's hard, but you have to be unafraid to make change and to
Right.
be better for
I agree.
everybody, not just for yourself, but for
I agree.
everybody.
I'm telling you, my throat getting dry here now. I tell you, talking so much now, I had to get a sip, gay. But I tell you, that is a fact because it's the responsibility of us all. We're talking about transforming. We're talking about transforming, excuse me, our community, and it's going to take all of us. And I want people to. Why am I doing that? We are somebody else. Will Gay be connected to local churches doing this run? That's a question. Talk to him.
Me?
Mute me. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the best part about running for office, honestly, is talking to the people. Like I am so ready to get back out into the community, and I made such huge strides in Escambia County, and I got to take that whole show. We have to make sure that we do in Escambia County or do in in Okaloosa and Santa Rosa what we did in Escambia County, because we can we can move the electorate and we can get people involved. It is, and I will be everywhere. I think what people want most is something to believe in,
Right.
someone to believe in,
Right.
and man, I care so much about this community that I'm going to work.
It's going to take
Nobody's
it.
going to outwork me.
It's going
Nobody's
to
going to
take it.
outwork me. And I'm accessible. If you want to talk to me, you can find me. I'm accessible to everybody. And that's how I intend on legislating. If you have a problem, you come to me. You know, I've heard story after story from people getting in touch with me, wanting me to help them solve problems that they can't get in touch with Jimmy Petronus's office over and over and over again. And if there's one thing that your representative should be able to do is take your phone call and address your concerns.
Exactly. I agree. And for all of those who are sitting and they are watching and you're going, give me one of those Arsenio's. This is the time you get it out. You know, Arsenio, he's going always, well, he give you that little thing. But tonight, this is how we get the effect. Because of when we come together, that's what we're going to do to make a difference. It's going to take all of us. You see what's happening. We can't just complain and don't do anything. We got to have some motions behind it. We got to do something to see something. And with Gay, I'm so glad that you are back out there doing your thing. And we got a lot of work to do, people. I mean, ooh, it's a lot. And because this here coming up, you know, these months going to be by us before we know it. August will be here
It
before
goes
you know
fast.
it. It's going to be here before you know it. And I just want our community to think about this right here. If you think about all those ladies that lost their jobs, these were high-paying, smart women who lost their jobs. Don't you think that's going to trickle down? If they have a chance, they'll let that all trickle down to touch everybody? Think about it. Why? My God, I don't know. But the fact of it is, as a community, we've got to do something to make it happen, to make it change, to get change. It doesn't feel good, but it's up to us to get that change. And I think that, Gabe, what seat are you? Let's let everybody know what seat are you running for again. Tell them, all that you're about to do and all that.
Florida's first congressional district, the seat previously held by Matt Gaetz and now held by Jimmy Petronis. But I am going to defeat him this time. I want to be your next congresswoman because I want to support this community, this panhandle, the different folks that we have on this panhandle. We have so many different folks and so many different needs, and I want to address every one of them. I want everybody to go to gay4congress.com and sign up to be a volunteer. And if you got a couple bucks, give me a couple bucks
Hello.
because I am going to lift up every Democratic candidate on this panhandle to make sure that our voices are heard. But I need you. I need everybody listening to this. I need everybody within earshot to know that there's something you can do to change what's happening.
Exactly. Oh, I see somebody put that unleaded gas was $2.99 this morning. I just saw that. That unleaded gas this morning was $2.99. Well, yeah, but my premium gas is $3.61. I mean,
I know. I mean, it
woo!
might not be immediate, but it is coming. They've already seen it in the UK. Their gas has gone up 85%.
Oh my
And if it
God,
goes and if it goes up there, we're next. We only have so much reserved oil. Um,
85%. Do you remember back here when it was gas was so high into when I to fill up my car? I was driving a SUV. It was over $100 every time I went to the tank, and I don't drive out of town. And
that was
now
the last
that
time we were in at war in the Middle East.
that's exactly, it was up just that high. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, you got to. I've got to make them laugh, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all a story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer Valley kept his family fed. You know, but then one day he was shooting at some food, and up from the ground came a bubbling crude. All that is maybe. I mean,
I
but
can't believe you
maybe
remember that.
know the words.
I know
But
the words.
but no, maybe I need to go out and shoot in my backyard and I get something. Come out and say, hey, look, everybody, we got some oil over here. I mean, but the fact that that's not just that. Even with the grocery prices, we say that when you go now, and these are things that are happening that we've got to work together to change. And I want us to get on the same plane. I want us to get on the same boat so we can see what it is that we've got to do. And take the I out of the equation because we can do a lot when we do it together. Let's get behind somebody who's going to support and do what we need done. Don't just talk about it, be about it. It's something that's affecting you. There was a school, think about this, there was a school that was shut down here a couple of weeks ago that's going to be closed. This is the last week. I mean, in the middle of the school term. Did you hear about that? I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, what are those kids going to do? Oh, at
They're gonna
school
have to drive. Their parents are gonna have to drive, and
and find
they're
somewhere
gonna
else.
be inconvenienced for their job, and it's gonna be it's a mess. And it's because the Trump administration has taken money away from public education, and that's another
Right.
thing we have to work on. There's a laundry list of things that have to be fixed, but we have to
Exactly.
stay engaged to do it.
I agree. I agree. And I just want to say to everybody that's viewing us tonight that you're sitting and you give me one of those ahs. These are the type of conversations we're going to have. This is the effect that we can get by talking. These are the things that we can come to better conclusions instead of holding our hands and not doing anything about it. You are not silenced. You have a voice. Your voice matters. But the fact of it is, use it. Use it. Speak loudly. Use it. And with gay, when I think about I can remember the night when, with the election before, I can remember us watching you from home. I was lying there, and when I got home, I could see her and the pain that was in her face. But I think that was a season that you had to go through to prepare you for this. I think that sometimes God does things or He allows things to happen so that you see now even deeper a way that you've got to go to win this thing. And if she did it then, ladies and gentlemen, now she's back. She's gone through that healing. She's ready to get out there and grow so we can grow together. Think about it. We got to have somebody got to be willing to get out there and fight that good fight of faith and do the right thing and get the effect that we need. And Gay, I tell you, I've seen you work, girl. I've seen it. And, I can't believe that usually, when you talk, and I say this because I'm one that's very observative. If I was talking about Charlie Wilson, I wouldn't have space to hold everybody. If I was talking about Cat Williams, anybody like that. But I'm saying, but the fact of it is we got to be vocal on things like this just as well. I can't believe when it goes that fast, that time goes so fast when you're having a good time. But I want to say to all of our viewers tonight, I want you to share this, share. And when we come back next week, we're going to have a great topic for you as well. Whatever it is that you're dealing with tonight, know that there are people that care, that we're working to make things better, so that you, because it's going to affect us all. We can't just sit back, be quiet, and allow things to just continue to come toward us. You've got to be able to stand up and fight. And it may not. I'm not talking about a boom fight. I'm talking about get out there and do something. Get out there and make that noise, because it is important that we all have our say. When you think about the things that have gone on in these last, how many months it's been? It hasn't been a year yet. It has not been a year. And if we wait, oh my God, 4 years of this, it hasn't been a year yet. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, who could we? This is what? Oh my goodness.
It's a little over a year. Yeah, it's a little over a year that we've been dealing with everything, but it hadn't been a year since the last election.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean,
And yeah, it
and it's
hadn't been a
going.
year, and the guy that got the job's done nothing. Done nothing to help us. And
Exactly.
so I am going to continue to fight for us and speak up and give us hope and give us a voice.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
That's right.
I asked the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who transitioned several weeks ago, and they would even let his
Right.
body lie in state in the Capitol. I thought that, I mean, they would even, that he had to go back to Chicago, where they kept his body there at the Keep Hope Alive Center. And but I thought that those people, when I think about this, guys, you know, he's the last one, except is one more that was during that time. And but one more left. One more. Okay, that's me. Okay, that's a reminder. It gets you every week, though. I got to turn that off. I don't turn it off when I come in here. But no, these are the things we're talking about. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great night. And I'll tell you, I can't thank Gay enough. And I thank everybody who sat there and had dinner. And they were talking about the gas. I wonder what they had for dinner. They shared with us. They didn't share the dinner with us. Somebody said they were eating dinner right there. They said, Gay, discuss some of the things that the president something. We eating dinner watching Sunshine Effect. Hey, Gay Valimont, my friend. Ooh, but it's a good thing. And Gay, I really want to thank you, because I think this is an opportunity to let people know, because a lot of people didn't think you were going to come back and do it again. But you did.
I wasn't sure I was either, Sunshine, and I tried to give space for somebody else to step up, and maybe they had better ideas than me, and nobody did. So
Come on.
I'm gonna do this again.
And for my girl, Ardelia, you are right. The only one that's left now is Andrew Young, because it was that's the last one. And so we've got to build up. Okay, who's going to take those mantles and continue to keep that fight going? You think about that, Ardelia. Look at this.
Remember Black history. We have to remember Black history. We have to continue to tell Black history and what people went through to make sure that Black folks had the right to vote. Because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, and it's not something that should be taken for granted.
And we're going to fight that fight, right, Ardelia? You know it. Can't do that, girl. But but the fact of it is, we appreciate the fact that you took the time to listen to us tonight, because we're only making facts. I want to open it up, because here we can be open. We can talk freely, and you can get some of the stuff that will keep you ask the questions. But you see now that Gay is going to run again, so somebody we can get behind to get out there. You know, all these other candidates that are running, that are out there doing things. So let's do what we got to do. Find out ways as a community that we can work these things, so it won't continue to be at the speed that they're trying to go to take things away, because that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. I just don't think so. Right, Ardelia? I can see her smiling. But that goes to show, I think, that more than Ardelia is watching but not saying anything. I'll get the inboxes when I get home. But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, It's been almost an hour. It's 8 o'clock. It's 3 minutes before 8 o'clock. And I tell you, Sean, it goes by so fast. It goes by so fast when you get to talking about things that are so important to us all that we have to realize that as a community, that we've got a fight ahead of us. Now, Gabe, what would you like to leave them with tonight before we say goodnight to you, my girl?
Sunshine, you know me. I'm just like, I'm a normal person that wants
Right.
to help this community, and I need everybody's help. I need for everybody, I got to get petitions signed. I have to. But if you see me out in the community, come talk to me. If you have questions, send them to Sunshine. Let me know what you think. Go to my website, gay4congress.com, and you can ask any question you want to. I'll address them. I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be accessible. Thank you so much for having me, Sunshine, and everybody stay involved.
Exactly. What's it? Y'all, come on. What is it? What your thing? Come on, get involved, y'all. Stay, y'all. I
Oh,
can't get.
oh, it's engaged, y'all, but I am
Yeah,
no longer
engage,
involved with the pack. I'm no
y'all.
longer involved with the pack. That is going on without me. So I have
Okay.
completely left the pack, and now I am a candidate. So it's back to Gay for Congress.
Gay for Congress. That's what it is. Gay, thank you so much, and I will be in touch. Thank you for the time tonight. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
love.
much.
All right, thank you. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I tell you. When the time goes by, we had such a great time tonight talking about the things that needs to be talked about. These are things that when I think about, when I asked Gay to, when we were talking earlier, the hardest season might be your transformation season. And that's what we're talking about. It is time for us to get out of here. But I want you to remember that transformation seasons come to all. You got to go through healing. You got to go through your growth and becoming you again. Think about that. When you check in each and every week and find out what we're talking about, this is where you will find out that when you step in, the sunshine, this is where you will get the effects. We'll be back next week. Bye for now. Keep God with you now. Keep shining while I'm gone. Bye for now. There's the sunshine.